Okay, that's better. Okay, um, hello and welcome to Mountain Aromatics. Today we are going to make a women's fragrance. Um, although you doesn't matter who you are. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. So here we go. What I'm going to do, I think, is um, first off, this setup is a little different for me, so I'm not sure if my voice is coming from there or I have a microphone like right here, if that's working or not. I just don't even know. But so I'm going to go over, like I've already picked out what's going to be in it, and of course, you know me, at the end I could add stuff to it, or say, hey, take this one out or whatever. So I'm going to just go over what I've picked out for this fragrance and then we'll put it together, okay? And then smell and see how it is. So the first thing is vertofix. I tried to pick some basics, um, yeah, and then give you room to kind of do some other stuff that you might want to do. Um, One thing I will say is that in the last while, my eyes have badly deteriorated, and now I have to um, wear glasses at times. So I might have to, yeah, I see better with them on, so up close. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Anyway, first one is vertofix, vertofix, and the next one is um, I pronounce it like this, patchone, um, coeur, COEUR. I made it to 10% because it is really pretty strong. It's that leathery type um, of aroma, but what it does, and the reason I picked it out, is that is a good leathery type fragrance for women. Um, Although it, the way you use it in like a men's fragrance is it takes the sweetness down. So if your formula to you is a little too sweet, you can bring that sweetness down. So if you want to keep your sweetness, stay very, very light on that. Next one is raspberry ketone and methyl ether. There is a difference between raspberry ketone and raspberry ketone methyl ether, or ME. This one is the methyl ether, ME. Next one is a juicy pear. So pick out an accord. I'm using my pear accord. And then another one is a peach accord. So I'm using my peach accord. So if you have a peach accord, you can add that. So those are three fruit. Is the I love them together: raspberry, pear, and peach. Next one is ISO-E Super. Next one is Clearwood. Although this is a great example of you can do a different patchouli. So if you want to do the dark patchouli, a really good aged patchouli, use that. Next one is Florosol S. Florosol S is a good blender for your florals and kind of pulls all that together. The next one is an oud accord, and if so, what you can do is you can do black agar Giveco from Giveco and Blackwood from Firmenich if you want to do those two, or if you have a really good oud accord that you want to use, or your favorite oud, put that in there. I just love oud in a women's fragrance. I just do. And then to me, all the time, jasmine. Um, I have a jasmine accord. This jasmine accord is really it's a little bit more creamy, like lactone, that kind of a thing. So I'm using that, so you can use your favorite jasmine, but to me, when I use oud, I intend to use a little bit of jasmine, even to the point where you may not really smell the jasmine, but it's there. The next one is a sandalwood, and again, there are so many sandalwoods out there. This is the Mysore sandalwood. When I hear Mysore sandalwood, my first thought is that peppery note is present. So this is the peppery note that's present, and that leads me to pink peppercorn. This is pink peppercorn essential oil, which I love. Oh my god, it's so good, especially the rose. Anyway, this is at 10%. And then bergamot essential oil, you know, good fresh bergamot is green. It is very, very green. So you want to, that's how you'll know your, see how dark that is? Yeah, that's how you know your bergamot is fresh. The next one is ethylene brassylate. It is a very, very, very forgiving musk. Has fixative properties to it as well. Two more musk, romandolide, and it's from Verminish, and then zenolide. Those two I picked because they have like a red berry in the background, but they really blend and pull together your berries, whether it's strawberry, any of the red berries, so strawberry, cherry, but mostly to me raspberry and strawberry. So anyway, that's why I picked that out. So here we go. Vertofix. Let's do this one. It is a little bit of woody cedar, a tiny bit of leather is in there. It really is a kind of a blend. It's not so pointed one exact thing. I really like it. It is a base. It's 200 hours. 1, 2, 2. Let me write that down, and then I'll tell you. I get this all the time. Why are you not weighing your stuff? Because 2 reasons. One, this is a first-time formula, and so I want to make a little formula to see if it works. And then 2, a lot of people who watch are new, and when you're first beginning, and when you first are beginning, that means years. It doesn't mean like months. Oh, I'm only a new beginner because I've only been doing this a couple of months. No, you're a beginner like for a couple of years. It just takes, there's so much to it. Ooh, so much to all this. So, but amazingly fun. So that is the reason, because if you do this and then you like it, then you can go back and scale everything, weigh everything. So that is why. It's not like I always use drops. I don't. But when I'm creating at the very beginning, it creates less waste, and it's trial. You're doing the perfumery is tons of trials, so that's why. Next, patchone. This is the leathery rose. Yeah, it's like a leathery rose. At 10%, it's really strong. So just so you know, you can cut your patchone way down to 10%. 1, 2, 3 drops. And remember, it does cut sweetness some. It just, yeah, so it will knock that down. But you can always add sweetness at the end, like with a ethyl maltol or maltol natural, whatever. Raspberry ketone, ME methyl ether. Ooh, because this brings sweetness. Not only, to me, this brings, there's 2 things, sweetness and raspberry. There's a little bit more sweetness with this than raspberry, but there's some raspberry, but it's a sweetener for sure. and it's a middle note, so it's pretty powerful. You need to know that. You smell it and you're like, oh, that's really nice, I'll put a lot. This is, and it's over 300 hours. It's powerful. It will stay, it'll be there. One, two. So just 2 drops is actually a lot. Just 2 drops. Raspberry ketone. Juicy. I did a pear, so here's my pear. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. And I can do 4, and to me that's not a lot. Like I could even go up on the 4 drops of juicy pear because we're doing some oud and some just heavier stuff. So that's why to me it's not that much. Peach. Peach is another one I have to say I really like with oud. It goes really well with oud. And so does magnolia, by the way. Oh my god. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 drops of the peach. ISO Super. See, I'm already gonna grab the hedione. I just added that. Okay, here we go. ISO Super. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 drops ISO Super. 8 drops ISO Super. Clearwood again, it's naturals. It's a super clean patchouli. I'm sure if you watch any of the videos you hear it all the time. 1, 2. Just going to do 2 because I can come back and add if I want to. Which, again, I said this. When you watch my videos, there is a lot of information, like from beginning to end, and I throw little tidbits in there. So just because a video might have a title, you know, like some type of generic title of just going over one material, there is a lot of information in there and side notes. I'll give you one right now. The thing with patchouli, and I've said this in a few other videos, the thing with patchouli is when you smell your patchouli, dark patchouli, your light patchouli, there's like 4 or 5 kinds. It is a blender, so it doesn't. It's not like what you smell is what you're gonna get. It truly is not like that. It is more of a and not just a blender, but it pulls everything completely together, like adding olive oil onto your final dish right before you serve it, and then oh yeah, it's just kind of like that. Okay, Florosol S. Florosol S is clear, clean. When I say it's the lighter white petals, like Lily of the Valley. To me, it's a blender as well. It's there to do a little bit more work, I think, than just for the aroma. It's 96 hours. 1, 2, 2. 96 hours is, yeah, it's a middle note. I never usually just use it like by itself, but it's a great one to pull together the fruit and the musk. It's gonna blend those together really well. Next is my oud accord. So you can use any oud. Again, you can use like Black Agar Giveco, Blackwood. I'll tell you, both of those are in here, but this is a crazy mix of oud. It's very complex. Ooh. Oh, I'll tell you, I wore this by itself yesterday. Ooh, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even playing. I so did. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. It's strong. It's pretty strong. So 4 drops in this is pretty potent. But that's what I want this to be, a little forward. like in the front and center, and have these different things around it decorating it. So the next is the jasmine. Ooh, ooh, oh my lord. People. Mmm. This is so like jasmine absolute. It is so, there is nothing chemically about this. It is beautiful. It's my jasmine. It's the jasmine that has a lot of the I added a lot of the like jasmine like lactones, and here's this creamy, rounded, but smells live, fresh, um, true to nature. Oh Lord. Mm-mm. Oh my. I would wear this by itself. Oh my God. Okay. One, two, three. That's gonna be forward as well because it's pretty strong. Oh, jasmine and oud together are beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is my MA always is Mountain Aromatics Mysore sandalwood base. It's pretty complex as well. It's interesting because, you know, sandalwood is not like super powerful and can take over to me like oud is. Oud is way more just strength and power in there. It's just right there. And the sandalwoods typically are silent and strong and very, very consistent and very, very lasting. That to me is a beautiful picture of what sandalwood is. Like, it doesn't have a loud voice, but it has a voice. It's very, very consistent. Um, it's just like good parenting to me. Okay, here we go. One, two, two. So it won't be something with the two that is like dominant and that you really, really smell. It's just going to give a solid foundation of this lighter wood that just carries and carries and carries this fragrance on and on and on throughout the day. Good fixative properties in there, and properties of just that wood that stays consistent. Pink peppercorn. This is me. It's just me. I have black peppercorn as well. I have it at 10%, and I have my pink peppercorn at 10%. Um, I don't know. I tend to really gravitate toward the pink peppercorn, and I'll tell you, it tends to be that sharper. It tends to be sharper. It doesn't mean it's stronger. It's just, to me, sharper, and I really like it because it is rounded by, like, the florosol S will round it, the pear is going to round it, the peach is going to round it, and the lactones that are in the peach, the lactones that are in the jasmine, it's going to round this harsher pepper that's in here. And it is just beautiful in women's fragrances. People who tend to go towards women's fragrances or whatever. Ooh, one, two, three. I did three. And then, so I'll tell you another thing. Here is where, see, notice I did the sandalwood, and then right after I picked the pink peppercorn. The Mysore sandalwood has this peppery note, just kind of like the pink peppercorn, and I'll tell you, kind of like Virginia cedarwood. Me, prefer Virginia cedarwood over the Texas cedarwood. To me, the Texas is a little bit more pencil-y, pencil wood, and the Virginia is to me a little more rounded and a little bit more like black pepper, pink pepper corn. Um, but that's me. But to me, they're very similar. So if you put Virginia cedarwood, like Mysore sandalwood, and pink peppercorn, you can even add black peppercorn. Those three very very complementary. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm like, watch my whole video because I have little nuggets in there that are amazing. That's what I'm talking about. Like that. That is, they are incredibly complementary. Um, so to make, okay, one more thing that's come into my head. If you wanted to make this a little bit more neutral, um, men, women, whatever, you could add a drop or two of the Virginia cedarwood, and that will move it a little bit more in the direction of where some men might want to pick it up. That's not how I do perfume. Like, I wear what I, and a lot of you are like that. That's awesome. But some of your customers or people that you're gifting this stuff to might, be that. Like, it has to be labeled as a men's fragrance or a women's fragrance or whatever. But I'm just saying, you could do that. Next is bergamot. I don't know why. I prefer bergamot over like blood orange, sweet orange. Those are awesome. But when I'm doing a little bit of a different type of fragrance, that's where those come into play. But to me, a fragrance like this is either going to be grapefruit or bergamot. And I'm choosing bergamot today. Here's why. Bergamot and oud, anytime I use oud, I choose bergamot. Anytime for me there is some vetiver, I go for grapefruit. Just FYI. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's start with 4, because I can always add more. And sometimes I think the citruses can be a little bit overdone. Like, it's a top note, but you don't have to ever put a top note if you don't want to have a top note. You can have just middle notes and base notes. That's up to you. Speaking of a base note, ethylene brassylate, over 200 hours. You can use up to 10% of it. It's one of the pretty clean musk that you really won't smell it in the. You won't be. It's hard to pick it out of a fragrance until you like really, really get used to it. And usually, I never pick out one musk and use that one musk in a fragrance. When I use musk, I blend multiple musk together. So I'll tell you, making a musk accord is a great idea. And look, that's actually one of the best places to start, because you can't jack that up. You can't mess that up. That's pretty easy. You just get some different musk that you have and put it together and make you a musk accord. The only thing would be some of the animalic musk that are heavy, tonquitone. That is going to be deer. It smells like deer. But staying with some of the basics like I have today, the ethylene brassylate. Here we go. I'm going to do 1. That's it. And 1 romandolide. Because if you smell this, you can, it is musk, but it is just going to complement the raspberry. 1 drop romandolide, 1. It just really, really will complement that. And so does zenolide. Zenolide, 1 drop. Zenolide to me is probably the most, to me, super, super forgiving musk. but everybody, people will tell you, and I'll tell you as well, ethylene, brassylate, galaxolide, and zenolide to me are the most forgiving, like very white musk. It kind of fit in that category of white musk. And then hedione, however you pronounce it, hedione, because that's how I've been doing it since day one. Again, there is no rules in perfumery, but I'll tell you, when you're first starting, just an easy, good rule of thumb. I hesitate because people are gonna. It's just not concrete, okay? But a rule of thumb that you can do is whatever the amount of ISO-E super you use in the formula. Like we used, where's my ISO-E super? We used 8, so I'm going to use 8 drops of hedione, just as a basic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and yeah, it's not a rule, but start with that and see if that helps you with some of your formulating. And I'm noticing my light, I'm going to take my glasses off because of that thing that keeps shining. And now I'm just talking to you straight up. So, let's see what we have. Again, with this formula, I'm going to smell it and tell you what I would add. Again, if you are like, I love this, but I want to turn it into a pretty masculine, I would add, you're like, what do you do? I do it on my nail. I don't know why, but I have to, yeah. I don't want to like shake it because it gets all up on the top, and I just want to, anyway, I don't know. Add Virginia cedarwood. I would start with 1 drop. It's very strong. So if your Virginia cedarwood is very dark, which it should be, just start with 1 drop of that. And that will carry it over more into the masculine, just because of the oud we already have here, the sandalwood, the vertofix, and the patchone, that leathery. So let's see what we got here. I know I'm gonna like it. I can already tell. Oh my God. Dear God and baby Jesus. Oh my, you need to make this. This is straight up, this is going to smell amazing on a man. This is going to smell amazing on a woman. Typically, I'm not saying this is how it always is, but typically, when it goes on a woman's skin, it turns sweeter. Don't ask me how, but a lot of times that stuff happens. And then I put it on me, and it just turns deeper, a little darker. The more bass notes come out. And I don't know why that happens, but ooh, Roxana, I see you. I can kind of see further away. Oh my God, yay, I love you. Oh my God, it's during the day and you're able to watch me. Oh my God, you're probably at work in the bathroom watching me. Ooh, ooh, you guys gotta make, I'm not changing anything. So if you're at home and you have this stuff, you should make this at the level that I did. Ooh. This is a beautiful candle as well. For like a sophisticated office. Perks of working from home. There you go. Oh, nice. I'm glad you're working from home. That's good to know. Could you please post the formula? Yes, I will post the formula. That'll take a while, but yes, I will do that. It might be later on tonight, but I will do that. So here is your you're driving. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's hilarious. You're watching this stuff as you drive. Here is another thing. This is totally random, but for some of you it will help you. So those of you who make your own, I am doing tons of body products now. Oh my god. But I've been doing body products for over 20 for coming up on 20 years. Like face serums, blah blah blah, body butters. So with body butters, those of you who, you know, you're like, oh my god, I want to make a body butter because I make fragrances, and you can obviously put your own fragrance to your body butters. So like your shea butter, mango butter, cocoa butter, a lot of times those can be a little bit greasy when you're making your whipped body butter or whatever. I'm telling you, here is a secret. Add IPM, isopropyl myrcete. That actually, you're like, how much? Do like a 5%, between like 5 to 8% of your formula when you make body products. Those of you who make it, you know, you do everything by percentages. So it's not like by weight and whatever, you do everything by a percentage. So you have 100% of a product, 5 to 8% of that product, of that body butter or whipped body butter, use IPM. IPM takes away that it will feel so much less greasy, and it will just be smoother. It will pull it in skin a little bit more, because I know some of you, when you do body butters, some people add, it's coming to me, give me a second, cornstarch or tapioca powder. You can use a little bit of that, but use a little bit less of that and add IPM. I am telling you. So, same exact thing if you are like lotions, you make your own lotions. Okay, perfect. Add a little bit of IPM, like just 5% of your formula of IPM in lotion. You know, a lot of times cream is a little bit heavier, and but especially with any of your body butters, your beard butter, absolutely, yeah. It will tend to be less greasy, especially, I'm thinking, sorry. Yeah, because beard butter, when you're using beard butter, they are typically getting that on their hands and like weaving it through their hair, through their beard, and it's going to be on their hands as well, and it just will help with that absorption. Would you add it to moisturizer too? So, good question. So moisturizers, there's two camps of moisturizers, and there is zero oil moisturizers. So where there is just no oil, jojoba oil, no nothing at all, no oil. No, do not add your IPM to that. But if you have a moisturizer that has some oil in it, I'll just tell you, your moisturizers are going to have a pretty low level of oil in it, because typically moisturizers, you are talking about your face. It's going to have a low level, and that is where I would put 1% in a moisturizer for the face, just because the level of oil, it's going to be pretty low, but it still is great. You can even do 2% in a moisturizer, because why? This is we're not using it for its fixative properties or whatever. It's carrying it into the skin. That's why we use IPM, and you can use IPM and alcohol together. It's non-drying and it helps it get into the skin. Well, it will do the same thing for the face. But the reason we're using it in the body product is because when it is too greasy, too oily, it takes that away. It makes the product less greasy. It's crazy, but it does. It is absolutely amazing. It's really good. So yes, you can put it in lotion. It'll just do more of the work in the lotion, cream, and body butter. And let's see. The other thing that I will go into and teach, I think, next time is how to make extracts. That doesn't really have to do with perfumery, but it's still really fun. It's awesome. I really like it. But anyway, yeah, if you have anything you would add to this formula or take away, whatever you think, put down in the description box below. And the other thing is if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. It makes a difference. And also liking this video really does make a difference and helps other people find my videos. So I used to think, oh, whatever, it doesn't really make a difference. It does. It makes a difference with subscribing and liking a video, and also the notification bell. Clicking that lets you know when I upload a video. So I am sure it's just such a production. I have all this stuff set up and blah, blah, blah. So more than likely I'm going to do another video today. So I am already almost at 40 minutes. So thank you for watching, and thank you for being here. And in America, vote. Oh my gosh, a vote. Whatever, it's different in every state, how to do it, whatever, but please vote. So thank you, and I will see you soon. I will see you on the next Mountain Aromatics. Have a good day.